Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry the last episode ended so abruptly. So load game, I think that's what I did. So, yeah, for some reason Twitch was not happy with me, and I can understand why, because I'm not making them any money. Speaking of making money for someone, we are now at Deco's Palace, the infamous rival arcade place. So I chose Percy because I figured he would be a good mix of, business stuff and gaming stuff. And so, Pangy Mania. Pangy Mania does seem like a cute little game. But, I don't know, that's a lot of tokens, or a lot of tickets to win. Anyway, so Percy went to go check out the games. I am going in the same direction as well. And so Iris is here with me. I'm seeing lots of shooting games, easy for casual players. Over in the esports section, there are dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We've got those too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by particular input devices? Well, no, not really. And I know that most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. Oh, back over there, that section with the green lighting. Head that way, that way. I weave my way through the crowd, past endless colors cycler ticket games, like the one that's on the left side there, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows. I literally was talking about that last episode. And they have a Mr. Moopy. It's got a button? Researching, one moment. Curious, I swipe my card and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself, or tries to anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying. And this machine spits out 3 tickets and suggests I swipe again. Moopy's Super Maze, created in 2000X, a company bought the expired rights to the Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. Well, 2006, that's weak. Hello, ma'am. A teenager puts her Deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention.
What's up?
Teenage retro gamer, hey, I'm calling next, okay? Yeah, whatever, knock yourself out. Aw, thanks, I am the master of this game, the master. The key is the time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets, no, not great, but it's Moopy, so that's cool, yeah? Alright, I'm liking Teenage Retro Gamer. Old school, represent. He's almost kind of like fisting. That's kind of like, you know what I mean, having her fist in the air. Like a fist bump. She extends a fist to me, and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play a real Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal. Always wanted to. Oh, you should go down to the Funplex. They've got one there. I don't know. I feel like I should be playing a little more incognito right now. I'm the event coordinator there. I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We've also got a high score chaser who can offer tips. Tap phones with me, I'll send you the address, says Iris. Yeah. Seriously? 2007, yeah? You're cool for an old person. Super cool. I'm 10 years older. Only 10 years older, but whatever. We clink phones and exchange a business card via Bluetooth. My crew used to go to this great little arcade on the other side of town until Deco's Palace bought it and scrapped all the games. Now it's just, kid stuff for kiddies. My hopes for this business meeting now sinking. So, did he sell off all the classic games, or? No, he scrapped them. He trashed them. He saw leftover smashed up bits of a Ms. pack behind the place of a dumpster. Aww. Although I'm curious why this one they tried to, dart around instead of just saying the name of it. I guess they didn't want to associate it with being scrapped up and put in a dumpster.
Yeah, this sucks.
It's a 1983 shame. The way that the old man always 86s unwanting games. I guess 1986 then. Guess he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on them. No, sir. She gives a shrug. I can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. The old man? Her dad? I mumble a thank you and then wander off, a bit dazed. So this is what's become of Moopy, has it? Yeah, sorry you had to see this, Percy. I'm plenty offended. To take all the mental leaps of dexterity to escape the maze out of game is folly, but I'm hardly angry. It'd be silly to be angry at something as trivial as this, and he can't purge the real Mr. Moopy from this world, even if he tries. We'll always have it. Well, I'll always have it, seeing as I bought it from you. Until I've, further need of it, I suppose. We're not gonna talk about that right now. Do you want us to put your urn inside the cabinet? No. I mean, we'd be honored to care for it after you're gone. Let's not think about that. Let's focus on the now. Let's do that one. Let's just focus on the now. Listen, let's not even think about that. Right now, you need Moopy and we need you. Can we focus on the now? Quite right, quite right. Here and now, we are alive and ready to fight for our funplex. I'll just keep poking around a bit more for now. I think I've had enough of the retro game abattoir. Ooh, that's a word you don't see very often. Abattoir. Where should I go next? Oh, do I get to go to all the places? Not sure. Let's try the drink, I guess. I know I've got a big old dinner coming soon, but this place is sucking the moisture out of my body somehow. I sidle up to the bar looking to wet my whistle. I always forget if it's like W-H-E-T or W-E-T, like whet your appetite, wet your whistle. Maybe get a snack? A fairly bored-looking bartender notices my approach and puts a fake smile on for my benefit. Welcome to Deco's Palace. How may I help you? Alcohol will require proof of ID. Rattled off in an even monotone by someone who doesn't give a crap. I enjoy a beer as much as the next guy, but I think I'll stay stone cold sober before butting heads with one Deco Nami. Yeah, could I get a diet soda and some fries? Uh-huh. Uh-oh. Is it going to take us a long time to get that? Do you want me to play some recorded music? Studies show that it helps with weights. Wondering what the holdup is, I try to find the bartender again, despite the elbow-to-elbow crowd. There we go. He's busy chatting with some teenager. Probably another customer. Hey, excuse me. Quickly, the customer mumbles something and takes a small object, a USB drive from the bartender, and notices me looking. Sorry, I had a thing to do. Okay, Mr. Shy Teenager. I'll get out of your way. Sorry to bother you. What was it you wanted again? Diet soda, french fries. Coming up. I'm worried he's gonna vanish from the face of the earth again, but soon he's back with some pre-prepared fries and a bubbly soda. Okay, how many points does this cost? The points are just for games, cash or credit, or phone pay. I absently wave my phone in his direction. Money for you, ka-ching! Right, time to sample this appetizer. Is it yummy? Edible? I guess these are technically fries. Or something approaching an adequate approximation of deep-fried potato snack. Want me to add that to your online review? What? No online review. Last thing we want to know is to annoy Deco with a 2-star report on his fried foodstuffs. I thought this place was supposed to be, good food, good times, not plausibly acceptable food and yet to be had good times. I did a search and there's not a single negative review of the food here. Okay, so they're buying out the negative stuff. I see why. Augie, more than half of these reviews were written by bots. I can tell from, one AI to another. There are recognizable heuristic patterns. So, he stuffs his own electronic ballot boxes. Who is this, a tin pot dictator? Well, that's the thing. The sites I'm checking have really good anti-bot control mechanisms. Like, I can't even post to some of them, and, I'm super awesome. This is weird. Do you want me to look into this more? If you trust me to, I mean. Iris is pretty good as a computer. If... I mean, I don't see why it would be risky. If you want to dig around a bit, I mean, as long as you don't get hurt, Iris, in any way, or have this traced back to us somehow, that would be good. I trust Iris. Snoop around, but, you know, quietly. Okay, I don't know if I'll come up with much, but thanks for believing in me. I decided to finish off my snack and drink quickly so I can get back to exploring Deco's palace, and... Actually, the meeting is right around the corner. No more time to explore. Okay, so no esports thing. After seeing a little bit of what Deco's has to offer, I am cautiously hesitant. There are certainly some things we can work on, but maybe a partnership could smooth out these callous edges. Beep beep buggy, it is now 7 p.m. sharp. Deco Nami is waiting for you. That time sure flies when you're having fun investigating. I like making up words. I quickly send a text to Percy before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. I let the sounds and sights of Deco's wash over me, and I retreat deep within myself. Francine comes to mind, as I remind myself of what she told me on the first day. No doubt you'll find yours as well. It gives me a momentary respite, and I smile. I know exactly what must be done, and I'm going to go in there and do it. Wow, looks like a birthday party kind of thing. I only ended up waiting a minute or two before being reunited with Percy. Without having to introduce ourselves, the staff swoops in, anticipating our arrival, and ushers us further inside the restaurant. We are treated like royalty as they pull out chairs for us and sit us down at the reserved table. Amongst the families huddled around ginormous plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we do stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles. To set the mood, I suppose. A nice little bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. Deco apparently spares no expense, at least not with his special guests. Hey, Purse. Hey, Purr. Suspect I ought to eat healthy. Just have a salad, maybe some grilled chicken, no cheesy breadsticks or anything of the sort. I think you ought to do most of the talking during the actual meeting, love. You run the stage. I'm just one of your many players. Okay, but if you see something and you want to comment on it, you jump in. I do value your opinion on this. Not sure how useful my opinions will be, given what I want is sort of the opposite of what this place provides. But I understand it's not really for me. An old man can't afford to yell at clouds for long. Not enough days in one's life to waste on such nonsense. Maybe, but I still want to know how you feel, okay? Of course. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs as our food is delivered promptly. Faster than the other families seated here, who have been waiting some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kid placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few glances our way. Given how long I had to wait for my fries earlier, I am shocked by the discrepancy. But before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives. Augie Lobo.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
Breadsticks? Likewise. Okay, so he's a bit of an over-the-top 1920X's mob boss. No fedora. Clearly he likes showing off his money. But still just an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the grand poobah of Deco's, I kind of picture someone more like Hamza, I guess. He offers a simple smile and a nod of the head as we begin. Oh, it's a shame Miss Francine couldn't join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more, but that said, I'm always happy to meet with Percy Sinclair, good sir. Future Mr. Moopy's Magical Maze World Champion? Ah, a retro player, a dying art, really. I appreciate you coming along.
Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you.
Yes, she has mentioned that you wanted to buy the Funplex and that she has politely declined.
Courteous woman she is.
Always a courteous woman, yep.
Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Deco's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade.
Wrong premiere. Again, this is me being stupid on things, but I think that's the wrong premiere. There should be no E at the end. I mean, unless they're trying to say they're the first, maybe, but I don't know.
Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry. You know how things are, how they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
Not exactly. This is quickly not going to be an amicable negotiation, I can tell. That's a big gorilla. Indeed. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for smaller, more boutique affairs, such as the Funplex. Maybe he does want a partnership and not a buyout?
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds of change are blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times or be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. What I'd like to propose is a change of ownership in return for a very generous compensation package, one that Ms. Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years. I would like to take over of the Funplex and evolve it into its final form, Deco's Fun Zone. You don't know nothing about final forms. What's a fun zone?
Think about this.
A new concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations, a best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited in size to host the full Deco's Palace experience of fun, family, food, and excitement. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or a bar, we simply focus on your strength, the games. You become a game center rather than a palace. We'd need to replace some of your outdated machines, of course, bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence that Deco's is known for. But overall, I would think this would be a win for everyone involved. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane, smiling away. Alright, I have many questions. And I have answers. Let's see how they match up. No. I've got concerns about quality of service. Is it true you destroy older games? What would happen to the Funplex staff? That's the thing. How much creative control would we have? Those are all my questions. No, I'm going to try and ask all these questions. First of all, what would happen? Let's see here. These are all important questions, obviously. Which one do I want to ask first? I mean, quality of service doesn't mean anything if we're not there. And the older games don't mean nothing if they're destroyed. And the idea of the Funplex isn't much if nobody else is working there. And the creative control is like if we're all just being pawns here. New management would mean new staffing. What about our current staff?
Good.
I firmly believe you have a strong and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Mr. Lobo. I've heard nothing but good things about you from my various field scouts and contacts. The fact that you've landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. What's this our industry thing, dude? Alright, that still does not answer my question. What about the others? Well, Mr. Cooper is a capable accountant. I'm certain he'd be welcome in our new facility. We can hash out the staffing later on after settling the big picture questions. That kind of is a big picture question. Excuse me. How much creative control would we have? Let's talk creative control. I've been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, and other things to get people in the door. Would we still be able to direct our own affairs like that, even under a change of ownership? Mr. Lobo, obviously I value your expertise on these matters and would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the fun zone. Short answer, no. You're not answering the question. It's a matter of branding and image. There are certain standards and practices that you need to adopt in order to be a part of the Deco family. Once you realize that, you'll understand more of how we run these kinds of events. Ugh. It's nothing too onerous, and really, we need to look at the bigger picture. Growth and profit. Don't worry about such petty little... Dude, that's like the second thing you're like, don't worry about it. Concerns about quality of service. I had some fries at the bar earlier. Well, I attempted to have some fries at least. It took forever to get service, the waiter was too distracted by other customers, and I would hope that our fun zone could deliver a better service experience. Oh, I'm disappointed to hear that. Needless to say, I'll deal with that bartender appropriately. I'm not trying to get him fired. I am concerned. Yes, let's not dwell, shall we? Rest assured that we are able to maintain a high-quality experience overall. They'll be sacked. Any other concerns? Yes! Many concerns! I have many concerns now. I have many concerns. Alright, this is not the moment to confront him regarding his review tampering, at least. I should wait until Iris finds something. Oh, did I ask that question too soon? Oh, man. Is it true that you destroy older games? I saw the Moopy Super Maze earlier. One of our top earners within the 30 to 45 demographic. Nostalgia is a powerful motivator. Except, it's nothing like the original Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's better. Is it true that when you find a retro game that you destroy it? You don't repair or restore or resell, but scrap it? Certainly, why would we ever want to keep an old relic around? Arcade games are not sacred treasures, they're commodities. Back in the 1980s, arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked or converted games. Have to keep those earnings up. Old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving into new forms. Classic retro IPs, reborn as new games.
Think about this.
True, nostalgia could earn a few points off those old games, but the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother?
Don't think so.
I'm afraid I must disagree with you on that, Mr. Nami. The question is not one of earnings. You should make far more money selling, say, refined uranium than you ever could running an arcade, if that's your only goal. The reason to operate an arcade is to say a dream of what an arcade can be. The reason to make it profitable is to be rewarded for your efforts in that regard. And the only reason that dream has shifted in the national subconscious towards your redemption game focus is because you have forced that issue. And I would think that you'd find an audience ready and willing to pay a premium for extremely high quality retro games. Funplex is proof of that.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your opinion, Mr. Sinclair, but I think given my decades of experience in the industry, I know a bit more about it than you. Yeah, we're done. As you like it, good sir. Percy settles down, having never raised his voice once, simply making his point and moving on, barely hiding a smirk at having raised Deco's ire. That's all my questions. Those are all my questions right now.
Excellent. I suggest we shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the specifics.
Yeah, we haven't discussed anything here. He rises to his feet, extending a hand bristling with shiny rings to shake mine. I wasn't sure about this deal, but was willing to keep an open mind. After everything I've seen and heard, am I really going to shake that hand? I'm afraid I must respectfully decline. You know what? No, F you. We'd like some time to think it over. Let's do business. Let's get down to business. No. I need to stall, actually. Because we need to stall. Because if we're waiting on Iris, I don't know if that actually does anything or not, but I think we need to stall. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this. I can't honestly say I like everything that I've seen tonight, but it feels like flatly turning him down could be, signing our death warrant. I need to stall for time. I know you've insisted that we focus on the bigger picture, but the bigger picture has made of many smaller brushstrokes, Mr. Nami. We need time to think about this, and we need to work out those specifics. I hate to leave you hanging, but we can't make this decision tonight. I see.
That's entirely reasonable. I can respect a person who takes the time to fully think things over. Luckily, we've got the time to wait.
Alright, he says that in a nice way, which scares me.
We'll table this for now. If all goes well, we'll do business. If not, well, no hard feelings, yes?
I mean, I would like...
Seeing you.
Ooh, that was weird. Although I never offered my hand to him, he grasps at it anyway and forces a firm shake. The metal of his rings makes me a bit uncomfortable. Be seeing you, Mr. Lobo. He smirks, feeling his inevitable victory. His eyes never lost connection with mine until he turns on his walking cane and strolls away. Very diplomatic, I must admit. While I can't say I liked his initial offer, as it would no doubt render my beloved Moopy homeless, stalling to shake a better deal out of him makes sense. This way, we have a better chance at getting what we want without giving anything up. Am I thinking exactly? I don't have high hopes, I'll admit, but I suppose it can't hurt. How about we head out? I believe our work is done here. With our meal calmed, we can scoot right out the door and back to the parking lot. From there, it's a short jaunt across town back home.